Hello everyone and welcome back to the Laser Lunch Hour. I am your host Caliban, here to play video games over the hour of lunch. And today we are starting Dragon Age: The Veilguard, the newest Dragon Age game, the first Dragon Age game in 10 years, which just turned into a withered husk right before your eyes. But yeah, about time. It's really hard to figure out what took so long, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just understandable. Things have been in kind of upheaval all over the world, and certainly with Electronic Arts and other companies buying up tons of other companies. God knows, there's just no time. There's just no time to finish a Dragon Age game. What are we talking about here? But anyway, we've got it now, and here it is on the screen. So we'll be starting this. I'm not changing the branding for the channel, but we won't be doing Cyberpunk games, at least for the foreseeable future, as we continue through the adventures of Dragon Age. Since it was 10 years ago, I've never streamed Dragon Age before, so this will be the first time I'm doing that. If you are not familiar with Dragon Age and the saga therein, I think you're kind of out of luck. I think the game, in the beginning part of the game now, as you'll see, I think it's kind of doing its best, I guess, to try to keep you up to date on what's going on. The game is set, I think, years after Inquisition, the third game, but is continuing directly on from the sort of events and the ramifications of Inquisition and its last DLCs. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, there's a lot of talk, a lot of scuttlebutt on the internet about how the game is different than previous BioWare Dragon Age games. And so, I don't know, your mileage may vary, your enjoyment may vary, but I'm coming into this with an open mind as somebody who is a Dragon Age fan, dyed in the wool. I'm willing to be impressed, or pleased, or I'm willing to be disappointed. So, we'll see how that all turns out and which one of those things I'll actually be. As the game picks up, we are in Tevinter, and God, you gotta love it, don't you? You gotta love that streaming software just eats up all your resources. That's what you want. So I'm going to set this down to low. It's very disappointing, but unfortunately Streamlabs is a real pig for resources. And I think actually I need to reset it. So we're just going to see what we can accomplish here. Yeah. We're going to see what we can accomplish. This looks bad. This looks bad. All right. I'm going to talk some more. Check this out. So anyway, the game is an action game now. I think they were flirting with that in Inquisition. It hasn't been a what do you call it? Not real-time strategy, but like a tactical strategy game since the first game, Dragon Age 1 Origins. Very bold naming your game Origins, not knowing there's going to be more games, but there was. Was very similar to Neverwinter Nights in that it was a pause and play strategy game. And then, of course, Dragon Age 2 added action elements. People didn't like that, but I don't feel like people complained as much as they're complaining about Veilguard. So, I don't know, probably says something about the quality of discourse online. And then Inquisition, of course, added a lot more action elements. The first one that I really felt comfortable playing with a controller. And this one, it's pretty actiony, as you'll see if we ever get started. I think that this should make it a little bit better. But if you want to see games streamed in super high quality, you can always go to patreon.com/JustEnoughTrope and contribute to the coffers of the podcast network, because all the money that we get and all the contributions that we get go directly back into making a better show, a better stream, and so on and so forth. Let me move this so you can see me as if that is a priority. But guess what? You're going to have to see me. All right. So I will say too that I guess I don't know how to program a game. I don't really, understand that part of it. But loading shaders seems to be a really big deal these days, doesn't it? And the game installed fine. That all worked out great. And then I started it up around maybe 9 a.m. today. And it was like, loading shaders. And it loaded shaders for the next 2 hours. But once those shaders are loaded, once they're loaded, then you're good to go. Until you have to load them again and verify them. Just make sure you loaded them the first time. Doesn't bother me. I can talk all day. In the first Dragon Age, my character was a human rogue. I don't know. I can't remember if it was assassin or rogue, but a rogue type. And then I think I was a warrior in Dragon Age 2. And then in Dragon Age 3, I was, once again, I was an elven assassin. Human, first 2 games. Elvish, this game. This game, I'm again an elven assassin, which is a little confusing because it's basically the same character as I played in Inquisition. And the vaunted system of taking all the BioWare thing of taking all the old choices, and porting them into a new game, kind of let that slide a little bit. There's only 3 big issues that you have to decide. Basically, who your Inquisitor romanced, your attitude towards Solus, and what you did with the Inquisition. And the really crazy thing is, some of my choices weren't available because I think I kept the Inquisition together as a peacekeeping force, and that's not, unless that's the same thing as surrendered the Inquisition to the Chantry, which I would never do. That's what I had to take. It was that or disband it completely. And then they give you an opportunity to essentially recreate your Inquisitor within the game. So apparently the Inquisitor's going to show up. He's going to look a lot like my current character. So that's interesting. As far as like Hawk and the Grey Warden, doesn't seem like they're going to be a part of it. And honestly, just let them rest, probably, right? Think of everything that Hawk's gone through. All right. Well, this is so far off to a bad start. This might be one of those full reset situations.